Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome back. It is exactly 9:52 a.m., our final interview of the morning. This very wet, cold, and grey morning in my part of the world. I'm not quite sure what's it like in the Western Cape, but let's hear what Professor Mohammed Haron, CEO of Al Jama-ah political party, has to say to us. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome. And what's the weather like in your part of the world?
Wa alaikum salam. Sunny.
Oh,
So
lovely.
yeah, not very hot though, but sunny.
Okay. We understand, many congratulations to you guys, of course.
Mm.
Uh, we understand Home Affairs has registered its first Nikkah certificate. And
Mhm.
I'm wondering, what does it mean for us as a community? We know that it's been a long, ongoing battle, lots of hard work, lots of professionals, specifically from legal professionals, as well as our ulama bodies being involved in this process. So, as a community, what does this mean?
Yeah, thanks for this opportunity. I think it means much. It means that we are now empowered. It means that our women, like our males, can basically have their say, so to speak. In other words, previously they were disempowered, they were disadvantaged, they were shortchanged, and now that dignity has been restored. So this is partly all due to the efforts of Honorable Hanif Hendricks, who leads the Al Jamaa party, who used what is known as the private members bill in parliament to basically change the scenario as it stands. As you rightly said, our ulama, NGOs, and other bodies over the years tried their utmost, but for some reason failed. But that's partly to do with some disagreements internally, but also the way the Department of Home Affairs had viewed the whole process. They basically found certain uh, hitches and challenges along the line and tried to iron it out, but haven't sort of done so. But with Ajama's input, it basically tried to overcome some of those hurdles. And one of it was basically to say, let's see if we can generate what is known as, or what has been described as, a very simplified or minimalistic Muslim marriage bill. Now, this bill has been drafted, but it hasn't gone through the system as desired, and this is partly due to the Home Affairs, or rather the government's decision to generate what is referred to as a one statute marriage bill, a bill that you and I and all of us, other communities as well, have found major problems with. And I think the Home Affairs and its committees will have to go and back to the drawing table and rethink that whole process. But of course, they're adamant as we stand and as we know. But be that as it may, amidst all of that, the party, the Honorable Khanif Hendricks and the minister Motwaledi basically come to some agreement that we will have a circular that at least approves the idea that Muslim marriages basically is recognized, the dignity of women is now returned, but at the same time that Muslim couples can get a copy of the South African marriage certificate. So, in other words, we have the Nikah certificate as already empowered within our community, but now we can basically get that South African certificate that will open up all other legal doors for our couples. So, previously, this was not the case.
Professor, explain to me, would this be an automatic action? So let's assume a young couple, have a Maulana uh, solemnize their nikah. And once
Right.
that is done, they are issued, together with their witnesses as well being present, they are
Right.
issued with a nikah certificate. Does it automatically say that the you'll be now recognized by the Home Affairs? You'll now be recognized as a married couple according to South African law. What steps need to be taken to then get that certificate in hand together with your Nikah certificate? Or is that the role of the Imam or the Maulana that has married you?
Well, being sort of armed with that certificate automatically means the couple and the witness can go to Home Affairs straight away after nikah, for example, and inform Home Affairs that they have all the necessary documentation, the IDs, affidavits, and so forth, and request for the South African marriage certificate. And that certificate only costs 20 rand. But other than that, all the other processes are all basically seen to, and they can get it within sort of 1 hour or so from the Department of Home Affairs. But let me just quickly just say, as I speak now to you, our lawyers, the party lawyers, have alerted to a slight challenge that we have, and it was decided just to freeze the whole process for the moment for three reasons. One, the Muslim marriages, of course, has now been sort of registered via the Customary Act, Customary Bill, and that, secondly, is where part of our challenge is. We have, of course, indicated that it should be a Muslim Marriage Act, or a Muslim Marriage Bill, and therefore separate from the customary bill. And so that therefore means that our marriage should be done separately from the Customary Act, because the problem with the Customary Act, this is the third point I want to make, is that it has other implications that if you according to customary, it is in community of property, and you and I know that for us as Muslims, it is basically out of community of property. And so there are these legal challenges that haven't that were there, but they we realize now that it can have problems for us. So we rather just sort those out with Home Affairs, with the sort of higher structures in Home Affairs, and hopefully the path to basically do what we said earlier on will be smoothened out, and people can access those certificates.
Okay, you actually answered my next question. That was the very question I was going to ask you regarding, antenuptial, which basically is a Muslim marriage. When you enter into a Muslim marriage, it is under similarly to an anti-nuptial contract. What is yours. What is mine is mine. But you're saying that this, because it is recognized under or we fall under the Customary Act or customary marriages, it's going to be in community of property. I'm wondering about other pros and cons, and also, would it not be as simple as having a document signed by a commissioner of oath, um, your Nikah certificate, your South African marriage certificate, and a certificate or a piece of an agreement drawn up between the parties concerned, suggesting that we married under South African law and Islamic law. However, this marriage, the contract is anti-nuptial. What is yours. What is mine is mine. It will be it. This marriage will remain strictly under Islamic law or Sharia. Um, will that hold, or do you still need to change that that issue regarding customary marriages?
Well, I think the just to quickly on the last part. I mean that is what the party is trying to sort out via lawyers with the DHA, so that there's no confusion, because it has been a question that was raised. Of course, on one hand, one can ask, technically speaking, I mean, it might fall under customary act, but your nikah certificate automatically tells us that it is basically a Muslim marriage according to Muslim rights. But that being the case, I think what you had just highlighted, the contract, I think, can become a very important little sort of document that complements the whole process. And I think if that agreement comes into place, agreement is decided upon by the couples, which we urge, which we would encourage couples should do, because it protects both couples and within the legal system. And sort of why not? So yes, that should do.
Alhamdulillah for that. And I'm sure you are as comforted as I am, knowing that lots of the young people within our communities getting married these days are opting for a contract that covers them both. In the eventuality that something goes wrong, we hope not, but these things are happening all around us all of the time. That contract is really watertight. Would I be correct in thinking that if signed by a commission of oath or drawn up by your lawyer, it becomes a legal contract and it is watertight?
Indeed, well, of course, watertight. I think sometimes there's always a loophole that you and I don't see, and we think it is. But hopefully, I mean, according to the way you sort of express it, yes, hopefully we would like to see it watertight so that both parties are covered. In other words, from all the stories we know and have heard and have read, it is so sad just to sort of hear some of these, the conflicts, and we don't want that to happen. Of course, inevitably, we are human. We're not sort of robot. But the point of the matter is, at least if we can deal with these things in a very amicable manner, if we have to part for some reason or the other, then let's do it in a good spirit. Not because, particularly when they are children, it can be very harmful when children are caught up in this whole process. They don't see the bigger picture, and the parents or the couple involved need to be mindful of that, not only of the children but of the extended families, because these can be issue. But with the sort of help of the Almighty, and let us move in a positive way. And I think all of these efforts have been to basically help us just to move forward collectively as a couple, as a family, and hopefully in a healthy manner, inshallah.
Inshallah, Amin. And I do assume that the community, the ulama bodies, etc., will be informed about the slight hitch that Al Jama has come across. They will be informed, and then they can also do what needs to be done to inform the parties concerned. And we will hear once the changes has been approved, put in place, or whatever moves, whatever differences that do come up, uh, the community will be informed by way of obviously the press, the media, and of course the ulama bodies, inshallah.
So, yeah, maybe, yeah, inshallah. I mean, no project in our lives are perfect, and so this has just been one of those with pilot projects in the offing, finding some of these hitches, and so we want to overcome that in the interest for our community, and hopefully we will be able to sort of reach that particular goal of having overcome these hurdles, inshallah.
Inshallah, thank you indeed for talking to us once again. Always a pleasure talking with you, and we do hope and pray that that little hitch does get ironed out. But of course, no stress, because you can have the contract that will keep you in good stead or cover you should that process be very long, and you feel that I'm not covered, but you do have that reassurance that your contract then will cover you, as far as possible. But thank you indeed. Keep up the great work, you guys, and we will talk again. Assalamu alaikum to you.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Salam.
6 after 10 exactly. Time for us to wrap up. Thank you indeed, Nasrin Naidu, our content producer, and Abdul Salam behind the controls. We will be back together again tomorrow morning. Lee, here's hoping the weather will improve slightly. We need the rain. I'm not complaining about the rain. We do need the rain. But let's hope that we do get sunny skies at least at the onset of the weekend. So till then, take care on the roads. They're very slippery. Drive with caution, and assalamu alaikum to you.